The security guard attempted to arrest the 60-year-old grandmother, but what she did afterward for revenge will shock you. Mary Johnson, a 60-year-old American grandmother, was preparing to make a delicious birthday dinner for her grandson. After shopping, Mary pushed her cart full of groceries and was about to leave when a security guard suddenly stopped her. The guard sternly accused her of stealing. Mary was stunned and immediately denied, saying, "I haven't stolen anything. I've paid for all the items." However, the guard clearly didn't believe her and insisted she stay aside for a search. Mary was confused and angry, but firmly demanded to see the security footage to prove her innocence. After a thorough check, the guard finally confirmed that all the items in her cart were legally purchased. Yet the guard didn't apologize, but hurriedly let her go. Mary's mood was mixed. She felt both angry and helpless. Even though the misunderstanding was finally cleared up, Mary didn't let it go easily and decided to take action. The way she got her revenge will shock you. Stay tuned for the second part. She adopted this dog, but when she discovered what he really was, she immediately called the police. Karen had always loved dogs, but what she didn't know was that her new pet was hiding a terrible secret. Karen had wanted to adopt a small dog for several months, so one day she decided to visit the shelter. That's where she met Toby, a little dog with a sad look. But there was something mysterious about him. The dog had been there for years, but no one wanted to adopt him. Karen instantly fell in love and decided to take him home. At first, everything was going well. Toby slept with her in her bed, and Karen and he became inseparable. But a few days later, the problems began. Karen started noticing something strange about Token. He didn't behave like a dog at all. She thought Toby was sick, so she took him to the vet to make sure everything was okay. That's when she discovered the unthinkable. Toby wasn't gone. He was something much more horrifying. And the vet, horrified, immediately called the police. To see what he really was, click the heart and comment, Toby Palm Part 2. Doctors shocked the world with what they found after the dog refused to leave its owner's side. For many years, a man named John had lived with his loyal dog, Max. The two shared a bond so deep that Max was always by his side, through thick and thin. However, recently John noticed a strange change in Max's behavior. The dog, who had always been calm, began to cling to him more than usual, whining and barking incessantly. It was as if something was seriously wrong, but John couldn't figure out why. Max would follow him everywhere, refusing to leave his side, and when John tried to step out of the house, Max would start to howl. At first, John dismissed it as a temporary phase, perhaps due to stress or a minor illness, but the behavior grew more intense by the day. He started feeling more fatigued, his body aching in ways he couldn't explain. His appetite dwindled, and he grew more irritable. Worried about the sudden shift in his health, John decided to visit the doctor. After a series of tests, the results were shocking. Comment John watched follow-up.
They built a highway around her house. She took her revenge in an impressive way. Lily, a woman who had lived in the house for over half a century, but one day the city decided to make some changes and asked Lily to move. The mayor aimed to construct a busy highway at the site of her old home. This highway would connect two of the most important cities in the area, but it could cause chaos if her house wasn't removed. However, as the rightful owner, Lily staunchly refused to move, and the government had no legal authority to compel her relocation. One morning, Lily's tranquility shattered when she realized they were indeed constructing the highway around her home. This house held generations of memories, shaping Lily's childhood in countless ways. However, 5 years later, the highway was finally completed and opened to the public. From then on, Lily's life took a turn for the worse, facing daily hardships. Until one day, Lily came up with a brilliant idea for revenge that shocked everyone. Comment highway for Part 2. They built a highway around her house. She took her revenge in an impressive way. Part 2. As I told you in the first part, the mayor wanted to build a busy highway where Lily's house was located, and it would cause chaos if not demolished. However, the old woman firmly refused to leave, and as the legal owner of the house, the city government had no authority to force her to relocate. However, Lily's peace was shattered one morning when she realized that they were indeed constructing a highway. From then on, Lily's life became miserable, and she suffered from insomnia every night. Until one day, Lily came up with a brilliant idea. She decided to build a private toll booth in front of her house and charge tolls to passing vehicles. Just as construction began, the mayor heard about it and came to talk to Lily. After negotiations, Lily agreed to accept a $5 million relocation fee and to halt construction and demolition of the house. She promised the mayor that she would cover the relocation expenses herself. It turned out that Lily's reluctance to demolish the house was because the mayor saw Lily as an old woman, and the house was in very poor condition. They deducted a portion of the original demolition costs, but in the end, Lily got what she deserved.